to talk about Christopher Nolan for just a quick second. So he called out the media because he said, look, the dangers of AI have been around for years. You just didn't care about them until it started to affect your jobs. He's probably right? Like, they didn't sound the alarm until it started to affect their work. Like, the writers in Hollywood probably wouldn't have sounded the alarm until, these writing programs like ChatGPT risk taking their jobs from them. Like, somebody should make the thing. It's like they're taking our gerbs, and it's ChatGPT is taking their gerbs, right? That's funny. It says he says the growth of AI in terms of weapon systems and the problems that it is going to create have been very apparent for a lot of years. He said few journalists bothered to write about it. Now that there's a chat bot that can write an article for a local newspaper, suddenly it's a crisis. Well, I'm always down to dunk on the media, so.
Same. Were they the ones that were like learn to code?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Learn to code.
Sorry, minors, learn to code, right?
Yep.
Like he said the main issue with AI is a very simple one and relates to the technology being used by companies to evade responsibility for their actions. If we endorse the view that AI is all powerful, we are endorsing the view that it can alleviate people of responsibility for their actions, militarily, socioeconomically, whatever, Nolan continued. The biggest danger of AI is that we attribute these godlike characteristics to it and therefore let ourselves off the hook. I don't know what the mythological underpinnings of this are, but throughout history, there's this tendency of human beings to create false idols, to mold something in our own image, and then we say we've got godlike powers because we did that. What's interesting, did you know that apparently, and this is just something that I heard in the reviews, that the bad guy, the antagonist for the new Mission Impossible movie is in fact artificial intelligence?
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So they're weaving that into the story there, but he's not wrong, right? Like, to be fair to the media, as much as I'd hate to do that, most people don't address a problem until it reaches their own backyard, right? That's not necessarily a fault of theirs unless they're being malicious and telling minors to go ahead and learn to code. Because, like, if you didn't then spend a bunch of time dunking on other people when they lost their careers, like the day I lose this job, I will not expect one journalist to shed a tear for me. I will expect maybe Hannah Claire will shed a tear for me, but I'm not expecting anyone who works for Variety to be like, too bad that Brett lost his job as a podcaster.
I'm going to go to a Blink-182 concert.
Can I go with it?
Kellen, here's the thing. If I die, I don't care if you go to a concert. Can I help pick a different band, though?
Sure, go ahead.
Can you go to see somebody else?
I miss you.
The ways you're the Dude, what a great rip.
Actually, no, it's funnier if you go to, like Brett really hated Blink-182. We're going to a Blink-182
Where do you want me to
concert
go?
because you can go to, I don't really listen to Blink-182. So if you guys want to go there, like Brett was ambivalent about Blink-182, let's go celebrate our ambivalence to his loss of income.
Funny enough,
I'm going to go to Burger King.
Perfect.
Nice.
Perfect.
It's a common thing that, like, if you're going to a music, like a concert or a festival, and you're like a friend that was supposed to go can't make it, a lot of times people will just bring their like cardboard cutouts of their head and use it as like a sign to dance in the crowd with. So we'll do that with you at the Blink-182 concert, Brett. We'll just get a big like fat head cut out of you. Just shake it up and down.
Well, and to be fair to everyone in the chat, if I was to die in some horrific way, I'm actually the opposite of Dane. I don't care. Like,
oh my God!
I don't,
Everyone, just live your best life.
I don't care if you live your best life, but I'm not naive enough to think that anybody's going to actually care if I die.
Have a party and celebrate my life, honestly. But float me down the river.
No, that's narcissistic. I just don't think anybody should or will care if I die.
Obviously, I'll care, bro.
I was gonna care, but now that you're like putting all this pressure on us,
you don't have to care. It's fine. Look, do you guys feel any type of way about the fact that the media is like losing their jobs because of?
Not at all.
No,
I don't care about the writer's strike at all.
I'll care when it affects my job. And
there we go.
Then I'll be like, oh, this damn AI.
When the AI is editing your videos for
dude,
Tim.
it's already coming because like when you go to place ads on YouTube videos, it's like here are the recommended ad placements that like it already does it for you, and you're like, no, I don't want
I never do that because they're always bad.
They're always bad. But what I'm saying that they already have that and they've had it for a while, so it's coming.
The other thing that's coming. Like this story continues because it's beyond this. So Secret Invasion, the Marvel series with Samuel L. Jackson, who we just talked about earlier, their opening credits were generated by AI, and everyone is pissed like that because they're really bad looking. So here's an image of what they look like, and it's like they went out of their way because it involves the Skrulls and people being impersonated by someone else. So there's some uncanny valley elements there. But look at these pictures of what they did for they're just bad. The art is just bad. Like, look at that. That's creepy looking. You can see it on the screen there. Like it's creepy looking, and people aren't happy about it because what they did was I tried to find a video of it. It kept copywriting me, so I couldn't show any of it. So a lot of these people are saying it says, no way in hell Marvel used AI to create the Secret Invasion intro. This is the worst intro for any TV series ever. This actually does bum me out because one of my favorite aspects of television shows, the ones that choose to do intros, really good opening credits are awesome. Dexter is a fantastic example of that.
Dude, I really like the Peacemakers, like awesome. I love it because it's a whole dance routine.
But that wasn't graphics mainly. That was an actual intro with people.
Equally impressive though.
But another one would be like
is that 3 or 4?
3. The intro to True Detective had great art. Game of Thrones. Like a lot of these, like they spend a lot of time and money on great animation because it fits the tone of the show and it's supposed to enhance the viewing experience. One of the things I hated that went away is when shows started getting rid of their opening credits. Like it used to be a sign.
Like a 5-second one now.
Yeah, it just shows the logo of the show. It used to be a sign that the show was becoming more serious. Like Covert Affairs used to have this really, really actually kind of clever, endearing intro to this pop song. But then by season 4, when the show's depressing and Piper Perabo hasn't smiled in 7 episodes, it's just flashes the logo and then the show starts.
That name is
and it gets rid
adorable.
Of Piper Perabo.
The Walking Dead always had interesting intros because although like if you weren't paying attention, it seemed like it was the same one every single episode. It actually did progress, and as you learned things in the story, they started implementing them into the opening credits.
Daredevil had an amazing intro. Another one, Person of Interest had a thing where every episode they had a different thing added to the intro. Where in every episode of Person of Interest, he's looking for a number, and the person's either the good guy or the bad guy, and you don't know. And every episode, at the end of the credit sequence, there'd be a shot of John with a camera, and then it would cut into whoever the guest was in that episode of him looking at them through a camera lens.
Oh, okay.
So that was like a little cool attention to detail that it doesn't matter, but if you watch the show, it speaks
That's
to
cool.
you. So it's like opening credits are kind of an art.
It's a way to be creative.
Not kind of it's a very big art form.
Well, it's a good opportunity and landscape to try new things and be creative and truly, leave your mark on a project that has probably dozens of people. And now they just...
Oh, yeah. Whole teams are brought in to make those things.
Yeah.
Now it says they're just using design elements, and it says, seeing that Marvel used AI to make the intro for Secret Invasion is so effing disappointing. There's no justifying this ish. That intro for the show is absolutely terrible. I'm with them 110%.
We're going to get more dance ensembles now for intros.
Yeah. So like Kevin Feige is like, look, we'll save money. Like we're down in the dumps right now. Our movies aren't doing that well. How can we save money? We'll have AI make our intros. Like, is there an intro you like for a movie or a game? I know games have specific intros as well.
Final Fantasy VII famously had an incredible intro.
Yeah. Kellen, favorite
for games?
Oh, or at all? Like
games is tough. Because I usually just skip through them all.
Oh my god!
I always bring up Gears of War when I'm on here because the actual, the writing for especially Gears of War 2, the campaign and the writing.
So sad.
They just put so much work into it, man, and you can tell the difference when people truly try their best. Like even if something is not your taste, like you're not necessarily into it, like you can still appreciate when something's well made and people worked hard on it.
That was a sad game.
It was very sad.
Yeah, but now we have to worry about like these poor journalists, man. They're not going to be able to do their job anymore because ChatGPT is going to come through and write their articles.
Dexter had a great intro in terms of a show. Someone in chat said Metal Gear, and that Metal Gear had an epic.
I'm worried that this is just going to force journalists, like even more into the corner of opinion journalism.
Away from actual
because-
like story journalism.
Yeah.
They're already doing that.
Because the AI is not going to have an opinion. It's going to have a set,
It's gonna have a bias.
it's going to have a set bias that someone programs into it. So, it could be bad before it gets better. I don't know. I don't think it doesn't keep me up at night, Brett. The journalist.
Journalists losing their job.
It doesn't. I don't lose sleep over it.
Like one of the things that becomes a problem in a lot of these discussions is, and we'll be fair here to us and to everyone else, you broad brush everyone. So it's like a lot of times what happens, like when you see something you don't like, when somebody says something you don't like, you say, these are the same people that say this. Well, that's not specific, and you don't know whether that person actually specifically said that. You can draw an inference based on who they interact with, based on their political leanings, but it's still not accurate. Like, you don't know if that person took the same stance on that. And we do that here. Like, I do that here. So I understand that that's part of commentary. But it does kind of, like, even having to do that bugs me a little bit.
Well, and a lot of this, what people don't realize, too, on this show is, like, you're really not thinking. You can't always come up with the most thought out point.
Somebody mentioned the Fringe intro. Guys, go and watch the Fringe season 5 intro. It's the most based intro of all time. I recommend everyone go check it out. Sorry guys, I keep doing the pen thing, the squeaky pen thing.
I don't know. It's tough, and you do have to generalize a lot of times. It's hard to like just remember certain things off the top of your head, and then it'd be like I have trouble with that. It's like we do. You have to generalize. So when we say journalists say this, well, are you lumping Matt Taibbi in there? Because Matt Taibbi is not the same as every other journalist. Right.
Barry Weiss is kind of the same as every other journalist, but not really. And journalists, yes, they're sounding the alarm now about all this stuff, but it's going to affect them. Everyone sounds the alarm when it's going to affect them. Like, it's not like I can't hold that against them for doing that.
Yeah. But, I think I might have said it on this show yesterday. You can't stop progress. So, I think...
So learn to code?
We're trying.
So learn to code.
We're trying to...
So we should learn to code. Like, eventually, someday, they will find... they will just have an AI just sit in this seat and they could hire a computer. They could make a computer for much cheaper, spastically complain about pop culture in a probably more accurate way than I can.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I am imminently replaceable.
There wouldn't be we wouldn't have those moments where like, oh, what's his name? What's his name?
Yeah.
It wouldn't happen.
And I hate that. Like, dude, I hate that so much. I hate when I can't think of who I'm trying to think of.
It used to bother me, but now I'm just like, oh well, I can't know everybody.
Because like, but here's the thing. It never happens on the regular days. It always happens on the days when you like the show's doing well, high concurrent viewers. Everyone's watching. That's the moment when you can't think of who you're trying to think of.
Yeah, because you're focused on too many other things, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I hate that part of it. It's not a fan. Not a fan.
I hear it though. I feel it.
Also, I think for a lot of it is like for a lot of these writers, they'll just have to adapt, and they'll just like saying learn to code. You'll have to learn to do something else.
Or like newspapers, like the New York Times can like do a little badge. It says like proudly 100% human run. Which, as dystopian as that sounds, like maybe, just like you have a news guard certification to see
human
how much
guard certification?
To see how much fake news you are. Yeah, see how much human you are.
Yeah, yep. I don't know. I just on one hand, every time I do IRL, I'm dunking on how awful journalists are. So I'm not blind to the fact that they don't get a whole lot of sympathy from me. But I'm not saying necessarily that sounding the alarm now isn't necessarily logical, given that it's in their best interest. That's just human nature.
Yeah.
So. Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.